Hi there everyone, how are we doing? My name is Boomy and you're watching my channel Boomy Reactions. Now today guys, I have a science themed video that I would like to watch along with you. So first of all, the title of this video is 4 Real Ways Earth Could Be Destroyed Tomorrow. Where do I begin without making myself sound like a little bit of a psychopath here? I have a slight addiction to these dystopian, end of the world, almost documentary kind of style, but not really documentary, more kind of very science heavy explanations or theories as to how the world could end. I don't know why. I went through a phase not too long ago where I don't know why I was struggling to drift off to sleep. And it kind of went on for a few months. And the only way I could drift off to sleep was if I played this Amazon series, whichever episode, whichever one, I didn't mind. And I'd fall asleep to these episodes. And they were the series, I can't remember what it's called, Doomsday. No, I think it's called Doomsday. And each episode gave a different theory or a different way in which the world or civilization would come to an end. I am aware how nihilistic, crazy, psychopathic that makes me sound. I don't know why I found it so very therapeutic and relaxing to watch and drift off to sleep to. I think it's the mentality of, oh, see, things could be worse. There could be a rogue planet trying to make its way across our solar system and, you know, force our planet to split in half. Or a black hole. I love the science behind it. I find the science very, very interesting. So I think, I don't think any of these 4 theories are going to be news to me, completely new. I think I've probably heard the theories, at least of 3 out of 4 of them. I think I'm guessing, because like I say, I've watched a fair few of these. I find them really interesting. I don't know why. It sounds nuts, doesn't it? Yeah, I very much like these apocalyptic ways the world is going to end. Does anyone else? Please tell me I'm not alone in that. Well, anyway, guys, let's crack on with the video. They're interesting to say the least, even if you don't find them relaxing enough to fall asleep to at night. Sounds so crazy. Guys, if you're enjoying these reactions as well, don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you so much. If you're interested, I have a Buy Me a Coffee account. That link is over here. And if you would like to help support my channel any further, I have a Patreon account. And if you want to check that out at all, that link is in the description just below there. Okay. 4 real ways the Earth could be destroyed literally tomorrow.
We live on a tiny blue planet floating through space, and the universe is a mean place.
Oh, I feel so rude. Oh my gosh, this is from a channel called AstroKobi, and I don't think I've actually watched a video from this channel before. I think this is a new one for me.
We aren't as safe as you think. The universe isn't always kind to life.
It's not.
There are countless ways in which the Earth could be destroyed tomorrow, and some are more likely than others. And I'm not talking about the obvious stuff, like asteroids hitting the Earth.
The scarier.
So let me show you 4 of the most terrifying ways that the Earth could be destroyed literally tomorrow. And you need to be prepared, because when I learned about the last one, I genuinely lost sleep for weeks.
Oh no, don't say that. I mean, I don't think there's any particularly that I lost sleep over, because I'm mental, I'm playing opposites. Yeah, that there's much scarier ways that the Earth could literally be wiped off the face of the universe completely. And it's ways in which most of us have never even stopped to think about, geomagnetic storms or solar flares and the effects what they can cause on the planet. There are so many. There was one series that I watched, and it didn't describe the end of the world necessarily, just the end of humanity. And I'm sure it was a long time ago, so I think science is come on leaps and bounds, but it was something like bird flu, the avian flu. becomes, you know, contractable by humans. It jumps. So humans can contract it. And that was one of the ways, or I think it might have been HIV becoming airborne. That one of them was a virus. And that was it. That was the end of humanity. So I wonder if that's not the end of the world, though. That's the end of humanity. Fine line, fine line.
In the depths of the cosmos exists an object that even Einstein didn't believe existed in reality. It wanders the galaxy all alone. And if it comes near our little blue planet, it wouldn't even have to touch us to end all life on Earth for eternity. The worst part is, it's invisible. And it's not alone. It's estimated that there might be 500 million of these terrifying objects wandering our galaxy alone, and trillions more throughout the observable universe. I'm talking about rogue black holes. These are black holes that are born when massive stars reach the end of its life. The core collapses and leaves behind a black hole. This black hole will then wander the cosmos, invisible to the naked eye.
Aren't they beautiful though? Oh my gosh, this video paints me in a very gothic, morbid kind of light. They're beautiful in a very terrorizing, ominous kind of way, but they make for amazing imagery here, don't they?
There's a few methods that we can use to detect them, all of which rely on looking at how the black hole interacts with its environment. Sometimes we find them sucking matter off another star, and sometimes we see the star being whipped around the black hole by its intense gravity. Other times we actually can just find them by looking at how their gravity distorts the light behind them. This distortion effect is known as gravitational lensing. Stellar mass black holes that wander the galaxy all alone are much, much smaller than you might think. Stars like the Sun are more than 1 million kilometers wide, and giant stars like Betelgeuse can be even larger than that, more than 1 billion kilometers wide. That's as large as Jupiter's orbit around the Sun. But because black holes are the densest objects in the known universe, a black hole with a mass equal to our Sun would be just 6 kilometers wide. This makes this kind of black hole nearly impossible to detect. The closest black hole that we found is Gaia BH1, a terrifying black hole that's around 1,560 light years away.
Now that sounds like a really long way away, but it's actually, if you think of the size of the universe, that's really not too far away. And yes, this is one of the ways the world could potentially end very, very quickly and suddenly. So I've seen the effects of this one, they're terrifying. Again, I'm going to keep referencing this series that I love on Amazon, but it's unstoppable. It's not detectable until it's within the solar system, and it's already starting to wreak havoc. And yeah, there's no escaping them. And it's a very realistic way that the planet could end. And it is a sad thought, really, isn't it?
And I'm sure you're like, oh, well, that's fine. I mean, there's stars that are like 4 light years away, and we aren't worried that any of them are going to come crashing into us anytime soon. And I hear you.
But they travel.
But get this. We have only found a few dozen of these black holes ever, and we think there's 500 million of them around us. Assuming they are evenly distributed throughout the galaxy, there should be one within around 50 light years of the Earth. Now I'm sure you don't feel quite as safe, do you? If a rogue black hole did happen to enter our solar system, things would get scary quick. We would only really be able to detect the black holes by seeing the distortion of space-time around the black hole's event horizon as it journeys towards us. There are 3 ways that the black hole could destroy life on Earth in this scenario. The most obvious would of course be the black hole swallowing the Earth whole.
But it doesn't swallow it all in one go. It strips and shreds it. It's scary. Look, it's going to do it now.
If the black hole made direct contact with Earth, it would quickly tear us apart and consume the planet. This is the most unlikely scenario. The chances of it happening in our galaxy are about 1 in 1 billion. Another way to destroy...
So the odds of that happening are still more improbable than winning the lottery. Actually, no, is it less? What are the odds of winning the lottery? I forget.
The Earth would be if the black hole tidally disrupts our planet. This is where the black hole passes close enough to us such that the gravitational pull on the close side of the Earth is much stronger than the far side. This would lead to the planet being ripped apart and would transform the Earth into a stretched out stream of debris that looks like a piece of spaghetti, earning this process the scientific name spaghettification.
Yes,
the chances
I've
of this
heard of
happening would be about 1 in 10 million. These odds are still small, but not that small.
But the planet doesn't survive it. So even if that happens, that it's still doomsday. You know, our planet doesn't really have much of a future when a fraction of it or half of it has been spaghettified.
It's more likely than you winning the jackpot
Right.
on a Powerball lottery
See,
ticket.
yep.
Finally, life on Earth could be completely destroyed, even if the black hole comes nowhere near us. If it simply passed through somewhere in the vicinity of the solar system,
Yeah.
it could disturb the orbits of all of the planets, causing Earth to be sent flying out of the solar system or even into the sun. This option is
Either
by
way.
far the most likely. There is a 1 in 10,000 chance that a black hole passes within the orbit of Jupiter over the course of the solar system's history. If we do one day discover that a black hole is on a collision course with the Earth,
Can't stop
I
it.
personally hope that they keep it from us, because frankly, there's
Can't.
nothing we could do. We would just have to accept our fate.
And even more frightening, do you think that we would know? Do you think your average layperson, do you think, how would we find out? Who would it be that warned us? Would they be allowed to warn us? Or would it be a case of, no, that would spread worldwide panic. We can't change our fate, therefore, top secret, you don't tell anyone. What do you think would happen? Moving on to government conspiracies, another video. But seriously, I don't think they would give, if it was something that was going to take a few weeks to happen, I don't think we would get a warning, which is more terrifying than this. The odds of a black hole entering the solar system, like we said here, are much more likely than one directly coming into contact with the Earth. It's still not as unlikely as I would like it to be. The chance of that happening is still relatively, it's not high, but it's still a probability. Scary.
150 million kilometers away from the Earth is our biggest friend and perhaps biggest enemy.
Could be
the
our
sun
biggest enemy.
gives Earth life, but it can just as easily take it away. Roughly every 11 years, the sun goes through a cycle of getting progressively more active before calming down for a few years. And the terrifying part is, we have literally just entered into the next solar maximum just a few weeks ago. I've spoken on this channel before about how in a few billion years, the sun will run out of fuel and expand into a red supergiant, consuming the Earth. But this is not the danger I'm talking about. I'm talking about solar storms. Solar flares and coronal mass ejections are events that essentially consist of really quickly moving charged particles being ejected from the sun and shot out into space. There is constantly a stream of these particles being shot out of the sun, and this forms what we call solar wind. But
what if it hit the Earth and then, it's where, well, it'd be the direct line of the sun, wouldn't it? But it wouldn't be the whole of the planet. It would be a part of the planet.
these focused events can be extremely dangerous if they are aimed at the Earth. Perhaps the best example of this is back in 1859. An astronomer named Richard Carrington was tracking a really massive sunspot when all of a sudden he saw a massive white flash of light. This blinding white light flare lasted for a total of 5 minutes, and just 18 hours later, havoc ensued here on Earth. Aurora was seen all around the globe, and mining workers were awoken during the night because they thought that it was daytime. It was just so bright outside due to the aurora. Telegraph systems even caught fire despite being entirely disconnected.
Now, can you imagine if we were more connected as we are these days? Like, it's actually quite fortunate that this happened so long ago, but statistically, one could very easily happen again, and that would fry our electric grid.
This would forever go on to be known as the Carrington event, the strongest geomagnetic storm in recorded history. If something like that happened today, it would likely cause millions of people to die and many trillions of dollars worth of damage. The reason these storms are so dangerous comes down to how they actually form within the sun. When we look at the sun using our modern technology, we can see these loops, tendrils, and streams of hot ionized plasma. Plasma is just atoms that have been cooked to be so hot that they lost all of their electrons, just leaving the atomic nuclei behind. And all of these explosive features are caused by the sun's magnetic fields. The hot charged particles get caught in the magnetic field that's generated within the sun's surface, causing them to travel on these massive arches. We are literally seeing the magnetic field with our own eyes right there. These magnetic field lines enter and exit the surface of the sun super randomly, and because they are so strong, we often see them loop back, split apart, and then reconnect. When this happens, the particles get accelerated really quickly and kind of shot out of the sun like a slingshot, traveling through the vacuum of space at up to 9 million kilometers per hour. That's fast enough to go from New York to Tokyo in just 5 seconds. We will surely have to face one of these events sometime this century, and when we do, it will get ugly. The storm would be detected and then arrive at the Earth within 24 hours, meaning we would have just one day to shut the entire world's power grid off in preparation.
Oh, 24 hours. I don't know why 18 hours. The last time I saw this kind of information, this kind of theory, I thought it would take from the moment it was spotted, firing out from the sun. I thought it was 18 hours to get to us roughly, or to hit the planet.
Charged particles would rain down on Earth, pushing through our magnetosphere and reshaping our own magnetic field. Granted, the aurora would be stunning, but that's where the fun stops.
So many of these deadly things, they look beautiful, deadly beautiful, ominous, but yeah, deadly nonetheless.
Currents of electricity would be induced in the power grids, causing surges of power that result in power stations and transformers exploding. All of the communications infrastructure would be completely offline, so these fires would just continue to burn uncontrolled. Nearly everyone in the Western world would likely be without power for weeks, months, or even much longer.
We wouldn't know how to survive,
those in underdeveloped
really.
countries would likely suffer for years. Millions worldwide would freeze, starve, or die of dehydration. And I know all of this sounds terrifying, but the worst part is, this is honestly the least scary way Earth could be destroyed that's being covered in this video. So take a deep breath, because things are about to get crazy.
Oh no, it's about to get scarier. So this is the least damaging way that the world could end. I think humanity can survive this. It's the milder of the Earth destroying theories. But I don't know, like a few years ago, someone told me like, oh, Boomy, you're going to be without power for like 3 weeks. I just kind of shrug and think, I can deal without internet access for 3 weeks. That's fine. But it's everything, isn't it? It's heating, it's your food, refrigerators, it's your water. It's everything. And I remember hearing something not too long ago. Basically, you've got 2 weeks. Once the electric grid is up, society has about 2 weeks, and then things start to get very ugly.
Have you ever noticed that every few months it feels like there's a news headline saying an asteroid is about to hit the Earth, or aliens have finally visited us? This next terrifying way that the Earth could be destroyed was actually discovered by complete accident. In 1963, during the height of the Cold War, the UK, US, and Soviet Union all came together and agreed that they would not detonate nukes in the atmosphere or out in space. But this was just everyone agreeing to not do something. I mean, how could they really trust each other? And so the US, doing what the US does, decides to launch a bunch of satellites named Vela to monitor and see if the Soviets were being honest. These satellites were mostly just looking for X-rays and gamma radiation. These are markers that would be released if a nuke was detonated in the atmosphere. They never found any signs of nuclear testing, but one day both of the satellites had a huge spike of gamma radiation. Weirdly, it didn't appear to be coming from the Earth, and scientists had no idea what caused the spike. So they waited, and it happened again, and then again, and again, until by 1973, they had found 16 of these gamma ray bursts. It would take a further 20 years for us to finally solve the mystery of these gamma ray bursts. We know now that these flashes of gamma rays were being caused by either two neutron stars merging together, or by core collapse supernovae, like the black hole formation that we were just talking about. When a massive star runs out of its nuclear fuel, the core collapses. In this process, a gamma ray burst is created. As the star collapses, a black hole is formed, and very strong magnetic fields keep some of the star's material from falling straight into the black hole. This magnetic field guides material to the poles of the star, where it is then shot out into space at nearly the speed of light. So it's another one of the ways in which is in this series that the world will end. So yes, the gamma radiation, or what do they call it? They called it something else, I think, in this one of these episodes. But I didn't know that they were actually they stumbled upon this theory by accident. That's interesting. Yeah, cosmic death beacon. Anything in the way of these
cosmic
beams
radiation
of hot plasma is in danger. The beam is comprised of this stellar plasma, gamma rays, electrons, and positrons, and it's seriously deadly. In less than a second, these GRBs produce as much energy as the sun will emit over the course of 10 billion years. They are so powerful that we can detect them from billions of light years away. These extremely distant GRBs from other galaxies are still powerful enough to disrupt our radio communications here on Earth. Any gamma ray burst within a 200 light year radius that makes a direct hit with the Earth will vaporize our planet. The atmosphere would be ionized and harmful radiation would rain down on all of Earth's creatures. It would be a slow and painful death. And what's worse, it has happened before. 440 million years ago, the Earth underwent the second largest mass extinction event in history. Second to, of course, the dinosaur-killing asteroid. 85% of all species on Earth went extinct. It is believed that a hypernova event occurred around 6,000 light years away from Earth. If the gamma ray burst lasted just 10 seconds, Earth's atmosphere would have been stripped of half of its ozone nearly immediately. This exposed all of the animals on Earth to high levels of UV radiation. And the researchers leading this theory have estimated that an event like this should occur at least once every billion years or so. The chances are, of course, low, but not zero. And realistically, there's nothing we could do to save the Earth. So whether it happens a billion years from now or literally tomorrow, I'm sure whoever's around then will not be having a good day.
No, and what's even worse is like, how much warning would you get? Like if they were detected, because they travel so quickly, how much warning do you think we would have? And do you think we would get the warning? Oh gosh, it's horrible. I didn't think that mass extinction event, I've heard other explanations for it, but that's a very, very interesting one. Is it the most likely, do you think?
This final method for how the Earth could be destroyed tomorrow is the most horrifying, because it wouldn't just destroy the Earth, it would destroy the entire universe instantly. I'm serious. What I'm talking about is known as false vacuum decay, and people often make it sound really complicated when I think anyone can understand it. First, I want you to think about energy levels. I mean, everything has an energy level. Think of these like the increasing levels on a stovetop. Level 1 is of course the lowest level, while level 9 is the highest. The higher the energy level, the more energy. In physics classes, we are most often taught about this in the context of electron energy levels, because they can only occupy distinct, specific energy levels. And the fact that we hear repeated all the time is that everything is more stable in its ground state. This is the lowest energy level. Every system in our universe follows this rule, and that is the key to destroying the universe. And here's where things typically get confusing, because we're about to delve into quantum field theory.
Oh
But
gosh,
stick
go
with
easy on me.
Quantum field theory just tells us that all of the elementary particles that make up the universe, the quarks, leptons, and bosons, they are all created by quantum fields that are present all throughout the universe. These fields tell all the particles how they can interact with one another, essentially giving us the laws of the universe. And these quantum fields, just like the electron, also want to be in their lowest ground stable state. Let's call it a vacuum state.
Okay.
Physicists are convinced that all of the fields associated with all the particles of the universe are in their vacuum states, all of them except for one. The Higgs field associated with the famous Higgs boson is what gives all particles in the universe their mass. And since how massive an object is relates to how much gravity it possesses, the Higgs field is really important. If the Higgs field is not actually in its vacuum state right now, things get scary. Imagine a ball that rolls down a hill and rests in a nice little valley. It appears to be stable. This is the Higgs field ball.
Okay.
And from the outside, it seems like it has achieved its vacuum state, but it hasn't. It can keep going down even lower to a more stable state. And if this happened, if a section of the Higgs field somewhere out there in the universe achieved its true vacuum state through quantum tunneling, this would set off a chain reaction. The real vacuum state of the Higgs field would spread throughout the universe like a wildfire, converting the rest of the field as it grows. It would travel throughout the universe at the speed of light. Everything this expanding true vacuum state touches will simply be annihilated from existence. It will grow like this until the entire observable universe is, well, gone. The Earth would disappear
terrifying.
instantly, and all of the laws governing the universe would likely change. Maybe life could form again, but we really would just have no idea what the universe would even look like. Ultimately, we don't really know if vacuum decay is real or not. Our current accepted models of physics suggest that it could be, but it's not like we have observed it or anything like that.
Yeah,
and even if it does turn out to be true, it's not like there's anything we could really do to stop it. So try not lose sleep over it.
I mean, I'll try.
I know I have.
No, that last one was slightly terrifying, very ominous. Okay, vacuum decay. I want to go away and learn a little bit more about it. It's the morbid fascination in me. I can't help myself. So I hadn't heard the vacuum decay. That one is a new one for me. The cosmic radiation and the black holes. Yes, they're very realistic. And terrifying. Oh, and the solar storms. Yes. Not as unlikely as we would like them to be. I would feel a lot more comfortable if they were statistically more improbable. They are terrifying. And like he said, like the narrator said, there is absolutely nothing you can do to stop them. Even the solar storms, they're going to fry the electric grids. And how long would repairs take? I don't think they could really happen quick enough. But apparently we're not very well equipped for them at all. So it just kind of exacerbates the problem. Okay, I'm definitely going to be losing sleep after watching this. I do find it very, very interesting though. Like theoretical physics, I try and keep up as best as I can. It's not my preferred science. I do get a bit lost. It's quite complicated. And it's all very theory-based, isn't it? But I admire, the theories and the imagination to be able to conjure up these theories and the mathematics that must go into it. But holy moly, it's scary. Anyway, guys, I hope you found that interesting, or at least as interesting as I did. Take care of yourselves, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.